I'm curious, what would you do with the forward lines? Like, I'm looking at natural stat trick from last night. At 5-on-5, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different combinations of forwards play at least basically a minute and a half together at 5-on-5. So the only line that, I guess 2 lines somewhat consistently stayed together. Henrique, Janmark, Perry played 527. Nuge, Skinner, Frederick, who I didn't like, still played 439. Draisaitl, Arvidsson, Podkolzin, 419. Draisaitl, Hyman, McDavid, 401. They went supernova for 4 minutes. They actually got outscored with those 3 on the ice at 5-on-5. The goals came 6-on-5. But what would you do? Like, do you watch that game last night and go, okay, like, fuck it. If we play McDavid and Draisaitl together, we're going to get 3 or 4 goals, and hopefully that's enough to win? Or do you just keep the balanced approach?
I think you go back with a balanced approach to start the game, but like it never lasts with the Oilers with McDavid and Draisaitl. So just expect that to be the case, right? Like I fully expect every game the line blender to come out very quickly,
which I don't mind on the road.
I think it's a curveball to throw at teams. Yeah.
Teams will try and line match you, obviously, but if you can just occasionally be like, oh, here's McDavid, and who are his line mates this time? Janmark and Henrique. I don't know, something random like that, you know? Like, it's interesting.
Like, Connor looked fresh last night.
Oh, yeah.
He looked fresh. Like, he looked like he needed that rest at the end of the season. So, you know, maybe if they have to ride him a little more early on in this series to keep the Oilers in it here, then so be it, right? I have no issue with the line blender. I mean, yeah, I think you'd, in theory, like to see more consistent lines, but I don't think it's such an issue that everybody kind of makes it out to be.
I don't think so either. Like, these guys practice with each other all the time.
It's not like they just start doing it in the playoffs. They do it all year.
Well, that's just it. My dad told me a story once, like from years ago. In 05-06, that was the first year where I really started watching the Oilers. And I remember my dad telling me a couple of years ago when I was ranting to him about how much the Oilers blend their lines. And my dad said in that season, like, Craig McTavish did that all regular season with the forward lines. They never played consistent lines in the forward position. But when they got into the playoffs, it played to their benefit because now everybody has experience playing with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think it opens up the options, and I think that's exactly what it is here for the Oilers. Like, the options are kind of endless with this forward group.
I felt like Trent Frederick got better as he went on. You want to flash up the DFO lines again, AB? I'd be curious. I didn't love Nuge, Skinner, Frederick. Skinner and Frederick got in on the Janmark goal. I've liked Henrique and Nuge as a duo in the past. Is there maybe some combination of Nuge, Henrique, Brown? You put Perry up with McDavid because they looked good together. I mean, then you kind of get into an issue of like, are Perry's boots fast enough for him to play a full game with Connor McDavid? But I don't know. I'd be intrigued at the idea of breaking up that third line. The fourth line, sure, I didn't see a lot that I liked out of them. But the other thing that is now fascinating is if Evander Kane is ready. And I think he could be, just because everything Friedman's been saying, that like the league kind of gave a finger wag to everyone, being like, we're watching this year, which is also hilarious that it's the first year the Oilers do it. Also, if the league's sitting there going, we're watching this year, and Matt Tkachuk plays tonight, green light. Landeskog can play, Kane can play. Like, if the Panthers do it, everyone should be able to do it. But like, you probably don't pull out Janmark after scoring a goal. You probably don't pull out Perry after scoring a goal. If Kane's ready, who are you? Is it Jeff Skinner or is it Connor Brown? Or do you still pull out? There's no way Knobloch pulls out Janmark.
I think it's Connor Brown. No, I don't. I think it's Jeff Skinner.
I think it's Adam Henrique.
Oh, yeah, it could be Adam Henrique, too.
You think they healthy scratch Adam Henrique?
Well, listen, I don't think his game has been great this year. I don't. And I think down the stretch run of the season, I don't think that he's stepped up the way that the team really needed him to or we're hoping to see from him. I mean, he's 4C in game one of the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they played Janmark up the middle so much this season. And if the Oilers are blending the lines, how many faceoffs do you really think Janmark is actually going to take? Like, it would make so much more sense to be, you know, limiting his ice time a little bit more and double shifting like McDavid or Draisaitl to take draws and stuff like that. That's kind of my thought on it. And then you get Kane in there, another big body who's going to be very excited to play.
Yep.
That's kind of where I would go, I think.
The idea of basically doing like a pseudo 11-7 actually does make some sense now that I hear you say it. Like, if your fourth line, let's say you just keep all these wing pairs the exact same, and it's just Kane for Janmark. Janmark's down the middle, but he basically isn't playing a ton at 5-on-5 or his spot starting. And when you get an ozone draw, it's Perry, Draisaitl, Kane. Perry, McDavid, Kane. There's something to that, I think. Liam, what would you do?
I don't know. Because I just think, like, the three guys who we could pull out can all show up and perform and do something. The Henrique thing, I think you're right, Zach, in saying that, like, if you're just rotating the forwards anyway, what does it even matter? That's the one side of this I think is a positive for the Oilers, is they weren't healthy yesterday. They had guys coming back that haven't played in so long. Like, Trent Frederick played less than 10 minutes. Evander Kane obviously didn't play. No Ekholm. Stetcher can come in and have an impact on this series at least. What I would do...
Jeff Skinner was on the ice for 3 goals against it, 3 goals against that game.
I do think it's just going to end up being him, because at the end of the day, you're not subbing out a penalty killer. You're just subbing out a skater, essentially, and who plays on a second unit power play, which Kane can do.
But we saw McDavid and Draisaitl taking some PK shifts in the game too.
They did. McDavid a show-handed attempt.
Right? Like, if they're going to just load up the ice time here early on for McDavid and Draisaitl, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them getting more PK time.
I want to fact check this too, because McDavid actually, he played way more on the PK than I thought he did. But I like that, because counter the 5 forwards. Like, you might, and you said it, Liam, he got an attempt too. Yeah. Like, if they're going to throw 5 forwards out there, Connor McDavid could do some damage.
Well, you know what they say, the best defense is a good offense.
Yes, they do say that. That is correct. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.